Fun fact, Lorenzo is an astronaut. It's Jordy here for Cinecom.net and welcome to Copycat Friday. Woohoo! So this is a weekly series where we recreate a fun shot from a popular film or music video, and Kendrick Lamar has been on our channel several times now already, and today he's back with King's Dead. There's a pretty cool shot in there where you can see Kendrick standing in the middle of a crossroad. The camera also zooms fastly in and out, which adds a great dynamic to the scene. So let's recreate that shot, but first I want to take a brief moment to thank the guys over at Rocket Stock who have a top-notch quality collection of various video packs. One of them is Stanza, a bundle of more than 200 video transitions. It works with any video editor, including Premiere Pro. We've actually been using it for a long time now, and it has helped us in various projects to add a quick but very cool transition into our work. For more information, make sure to click the first link in your description below. But the first thing that you want to do is find a location, and if you have some connections or plenty of money, you can close down a real crossroad. But I guess the more convenient way is to find a not-so-crowded place. Now we found an empty parking lot, because you will need to stand on the actual spot. Pretty cool was that there were some tire marks, which fitted great with the scene. Very important though is that you're going to mark the ground where your actor has stood when you are going to drive around with the cars. In this case, we actually have a white dot on the parking lot that we can use, but if you don't have anything like that, use some tape to mark that on the ground. And the reason for that is because you always want to make sure to not drive over your subject.
So in the clip of Kendrick, they took a shot from a high angle. So we need to recreate this. So we took a C-stand, a super clamp and a tripod head. We're gonna mount the camera on the head so it sits still and safe. And Jordy is doing the invisible box.
Everything has to be shot from one angle, and there are two things that we'll record. One is where your subject is dancing in the middle, and the second one are the cars driving around. So the GH5 has an option, also the GH4, and a bunch of other cameras to connect your camera to your phone, and that way you're able to control your camera but also view what's being recorded. So when your camera is up high, you can still see what you're doing. We also made sure the cars were already in place before we started shooting. This is to keep the lighting difference from the sun between your two shots to a minimal. So the first shot is where Kendrick Lamar is going to dance in an empty parking lot, and the idea is afterwards to key him away out of that shot. We can do that either with a mask, or we can make it ourselves a lot easier and do it with a portable green screen. But there are a few things like the ground, the shadow, his feet that are going to be very hard to key out. So we are only going to focus on the upper body part of Janik and only put the green screen in there. Then in the second shot, we kept the camera rolling and drove other cars over the scene. Important is that you don't drive over the spot of where your actor is standing. We had a clear dot on the ground. If you don't have that, feel free to use some tape markers. So now it's time to bring our shot into Adobe Premiere Pro. And first of all, I draw a mask on the opacity property from the subject's clip. Now this can be rough, but be sure that the green screen shadow is left out as well. Then I apply an ultra key effect from which I can key out the green. So afterwards we noticed that the border of the green screen was black, so we had to manually drag that out as well. If we knew this up front, we would have just wrapped a green cloth around the plate or something. And then I took an empty shot of the parking lot and placed that underneath the subject. And now it just seems like a normal shot, but having your subject separated in a second layer will help us a lot when bringing in the cars. Now some cars will pass behind your subject, and these are the easiest to handle. You can simply draw a rough mask around them and then animate the mask pad to follow the car. And this goes pretty fast, but if you have cars that will drive over the shadow of your subject, you will need to adjust that a little bit more. I animated the mask pad of the subject to make room for the passing car. Cars that came in front of the subject was a little bit more tricky. Here you do want to create a more precise mask and follow the chassis of the car. However, don't get too frustrated if you can't get it perfect. The cars fly by pretty fast, so any error is not that noticeable. Even in the Kendrick's clip, they made several mistakes with the masks. So that was most of the work, and it should already give you a pretty cool result of you standing in the middle of some fast-passing cars. And that's why you had to be careful not to drive over the spot of where your subject stood. Sorry, Janik. And next up, I want to nest the clips of the cars so that I can change their speed, making them go even faster. And the reason that I'm nesting them is because your mask path animation will get messed up when doing a direct speed change on the clip. You can also duplicate your cars and offset them a little bit from each other in the timeline, and this way you have a lot of cars following up on each other. And finally, what we also see in Kendrick's clip are cars going suddenly back in reverse, and you can also do that from the speed and duration menu. And then the final touch to it all are some fake camera zooms. And to do that, you have to select everything in your timeline and nest it together. On that group, you can apply the transform effect. And this effect has the normal motion controls, but it comes with an extra switch called the shutter angle, and you want to set it to 180 degree. When we now animate the scale and position to make it zoom into the subject, it will also introduce some motion blur, making the zoom a lot more natural. What's also important is that you make sure to right-click on your first keyframes, choose Temporal Interpolation, and then Ease Out. With the last keyframes, you want to choose Ease In, and this way the animation starts and ends smooth. You can also open up the properties to tweak the velocity curve a little bit more and to really have a unique zooming effect. If your camera can shoot 4K, then definitely do that, as you are losing a lot of quality when doing these digital zooms. And if you are using 4K resolution shots and finalizing that in a normal HD sequence, you won't notice that too much. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Rocketstock for sponsoring us today. And like always, stay creative. Guys, let us know in the comments below. How do you think Lorenzo is doing? Should he stay at the Cinecom team or shall we kick him out? Janik is spritzing again with the green screen. Guys, let us know. Shall we kick him out or leave him in the Cinecom team?
I fixed it.
Okay,
I can stay.
You fixed it. You can stay.